When India respects all the religion through its secular culture, when our mother depicts the world that we believe in dignity and not in imperialism, when our nation cultivates the peace and harmony throughout the world, at this very time, this topic of patriotism and nation building gives immense pressure and relevance during this particular context. So, patriotism. What is patriotism? According to Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, patriotism is like the humanity itself. I am patriotic because I am a human as well as a humane. Imperialism has no place in my course of patriotism. This is what patriotism is. We the Indians, we think that patriotism is like a love to our own mother. My mother is always superior to me, but it does not mean that other mothers are inferior to me. This is what patriotism is. We the Indians love and respect our nation, but at the very same time, we respect the policies and qualifications of the other foreign countries as well. This is what our patriotism is concerned. Coming to the nation building, the organized structure, plan, procedure to attain a national identity, a dignity is what nation building is. It is very close to patriotism. A person without the feeling of patriotism can never help the nation in building it a better place. We should know the global perspective of patriotism and nation building. Do we remember the year of 1789? Now the question is, why should we remember? The slogan called liberty, equality and fraternity flourished throughout the world through a concept called French Revolution, which not only changed the French people, but also every nook and corner of the world. This is how patriotism got empowerment. The nation building. The turning point in the history of nation building came through a revolution called American Independence. American independence, during that period, Thomas Jefferson stated that this tree of liberty, the tree formed by the patriotic feelings of the people, needs transformation from time to time by the bloods of patriot. This is how we get the global perspective of patriotism and nation building. Then we come to the Indian sense of patriotism and nation building. Even Chanakya, in his classical masterwork, clearly defines the meaning of patriotism and nation building. In Ramayana, we have Janani Janma Bhumishtaha Swargadapi Gayasi, which means my mother and my mother country depict to the whole world they are more greater than the heaven itself. When we go through the timeline of Indian history, we get a lot of commendable faces who have made commendable contribution in the field of patriotism and nation building. The revolt of 1857 gave us Mangal Pandey, the sacrifice of Bhagat Singh, Subhash Chandra Bose, the national movement led by NYK Gandhi influences us to have patriotic feelings to the concept like Hind Swaraj, Satyagraha, etc. The formulations by our first Prime Minister, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, the frameworks of Dr. Ambedkar makes India an ideal model for nation building. This is the facts and figures of Indian school of thoughts. But however, we are posing some challenges, the obstacles in the progress of patriotism and nation building. The first of all, the narrow-minded concept of regionalism. We as an individual feel happy to say, I belong to this state, I belong to that state. We take honor in saying that. But this is altogether an evil concept. We should have the concept of Indianism. We should stand together, fight for Indianism. So we have to avoid the concept called regionalism. The second and the most important challenge we have is extremism. The Maoism and terrorism pose a great challenge to our country. The Maoist corridors, in lack of development, the basic infrastructures to gain their quality, to gain their liberty, they are fighting for them. Next, the terrorism, the sacrifice of late Colonel Niranjan, Major Sandeep Unnikrishnan shows us that it is high time to demolish terrorism from our country. When Captain Vikram Batra was asked to leave the place from the war, he said that, I am not afraid of the war. Let the forces come and I'll face them. This is what patriotism should be. The terrorists and the Maoists have a common concept to motivate the youth mass for them emotionally, to make them attentive towards the antisocial work instead of patriotism. The third most challenge we have is the mindset of youngsters, the youth mass of today. At least 60 to 70% of the Indian population, I think we have the youngsters, the youth mass of our country. But what are we doing? The whole world think us as a supplier of youngsters for the mechanical power, but we the Indians do not take that much proud. We have the ability to improve our country from a developing to a developed nation. That is what I want to highlight a quote of Vivekananda. When Swami Vivekananda was at Chicago, an Englishman asked him, "Are you not civilized for wearing such a dress?" And Swami Vivekananda said that, "In your country, the measurement of a tailor shapes the personality, but in my country, the measurement of karma shapes the personality." This is what the youngsters and the youth mass of today should be. With this, I would like to conclude that मैं हिंदू हूँ, मुसलमान भी हूँ, सिख ईसाई भी हूँ, एक इंसान हूँ, एक नहीं अनेक हूँ, मैं इस मिट्टी का एक कण भी हूँ, इस हिंदुस्तान में भी हूँ। जय हिंद।